Hi my angels, and welcome back to my channel. First things first, please excuse my voice. I haven't been very well, but today I am here with this makeup look, which is the makeup look that I'm like always wearing on my Instagram. It's kind of like my go-to makeup look, so I'm going to be showing you my favorite products and the things that I've been loving for a long time now. It's been highly requested on the gram, so if you guys would like to see how to get this makeup look, then please keep watching. So first I'm starting off with skincare. I'm taking my SUPERSKIN eye cream from LOREAL. I'm putting this underneath my eyes and making like this weird round circle around them, and I find that this helps my concealer sit so beautifully well. Then I'm taking the Glow On Moisture Balm and the UV like SPF from Giorgio Armani, and I'm mixing those two together and putting them all over my face. The Glow Balm is just the most beautiful like moisturizer for your makeup, and then obviously the UV is protection from any kind of sun rays, so gotta make sure we got that UV protection on our face. Moving on to primer, I generally use either two of these, the Benefit Professional Matte Rescue or the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer. I'm actually using the Benefit one here, and I'm just putting that onto the usual T-zone area of my face. And these are a mixture of foundations that I just generally like using these days. I've actually mixed all three of them because they were in front of me and I wanted to show you guys my favorites of the moment. So I'm just putting them on all over my face, and of course, as always, blending everything away with my damp beauty blender. And I think I actually, by the way, that's a burn from my laser hair removal, but I actually spend the most of my time doing my makeup on my base because I like it to be as flawless as possible, so I really work it into my skin. Then taking the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, I'm spraying my face, and as always, I'm getting my beauty blender again and pushing that product into my skin. And I really find that this helps my makeup and base last so long, and it also means that I don't really need to touch it up that much throughout the day either. Now I'm going to correct my under eyes. I'm using the YSL Latent Touche ECLAT Peach Corrector, and I'm putting a little bit of that underneath my eyes, like where I have darkness. Then I'm taking my Naked Skin Concealer and I'm drawing 3 lines underneath it to conceal and brighten that area, and then the usual areas, so the bridge of my nose, my forehead, my chin, around my mouth, and Cupid's bow. And I kind of felt like this wasn't brightening enough, so I'm taking a little bit of the Maybelline Age Eye Rewind Eye Concealer thingy in the shade Light, and I'm just applying that to the same areas where I applied the Urban Decay concealer. This is totally not necessarily, I could have skipped the Urban Decay concealer, but basically it's in a shade slightly darker than I would usually use, so I'm just mixing that on top. And again, just blending everything away with my damp beauty blender, making sure that everything is nice and seamless and smooth and there's no weird lines appearing on my face. Next up, we are going to set everything, and I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder. I've actually mentioned this in a video before, but I really did not like this powder when I used it with a brush. I feel like I have to use a tiny amount on my damp beauty blender and then kind of press it into my skin. I feel like that is the best way that it kind of ends up looking on my skin. Taking the brow conditioning primer by Benefit, I'm applying that to my brows. I find that this like conditions my brows, but it also kind of holds them in place because my brows have a mind of their own. So I'm doing that first, and then I'm taking my Dip Brow pomade in dark brown from Anastasia Beverly Hills, and first just kind of combing my eyebrow hairs to make sure they're in the direction that I want them to be, and then just going ahead and filling my brows in. And I'm just using the brush that is from the like new Benefit brow range. It's actually a really good brush. I don't think it's my favorite, but it does a really good job. I really like the spoolie at the other end. Once they're filled in, I'm taking the Gimme Brow by Benefit, and this is in the lightest shade. And the reason why I like getting this and putting this onto my brows is because it really kind of lightens them up slightly and makes them look really nice in pictures. It makes them look really like, not fluffy, but very kind of blended and soft. And then I'm taking my brow gel by Anastasia, the clear one, and just running that through the eyebrow hairs just to kind of tone down that blondie ashiness in the Gimme Brow. I'm taking my baby lips and putting that on my lips so then they're nice and moisturized by the time we do our lipstick. And now I'm going to move on to mascara. There's nothing new here, you guys. The False Lash Sculpt Mascara by L'Oreal is Becoming My Ride or Die. I genuinely have like 4 of these. I've gone through so many, but I love this. I just love what it does to my lashes. And I'm putting 2 coats of this on my top lashes and also 1 coat of it onto my bottom lashes as well. And I would have actually left my lashes as this, but I wanted to add a bit of glam. So you'll see me putting some falsies on in a bit, but by all means, if you guys want to follow a similar routine, you can totally skip that. Taking my KEVYN AUCOIN medium sculpting powder, I'm going ahead and sculpting my cheeks, contouring them. You guys know the drill. And the brush that I'm actually using is also a KEVYN AUCOIN sculpt brush as well. I really like this. It is quite intense, so you have to use like the tiniest amount because it is quite a rounded kind of end of the brush, so you just got to be careful when you use it, but I love it. Just contouring my nose, my forehead obviously, and my lips and jawline as well before moving on to my bronzer. For bronzer, I'm using the HOOLA bronzer by Benefit. I generally use this, the L'Oreal Glam Bronze bronzer, or my Urban Decay Beach bronzer, but today I wanted to use HOOLA because I wanted it to look quite cool rather than very warm when it came to bronzing my skin. So just going over all the areas that we contoured and then taking my damp beauty blender and just going over the kind of edges of my contour to make sure everything's nice and blended and that nothing is looking harsh. Next, we're gonna glow up our skin. Here I'm using the OFRA highlighter in Beverly Hills, which is, I kid you not, you guys, probably my new favorite highlighter. Like, this is just insane. Like, it is such a beautiful highlighter. It's so pigmented, you need the tiniest amount, but it just looks beautiful and so glowy and so like blingy on the skin. I love it. I'm running that along into my brow bone and also the bridge of my nose and my Cupid's bow as well. Now taking my TATCHA Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, I'm spraying 2 sprays of it onto the kind of top high points of my face, like where we've kind of like highlighted our cheeks, and then I'm basically just pressing that into the skin to make everything nice and kind of merged and blended in together. And then I'm going extra as always, and I'm adding another layer of that OFRA highlighter on top to make my skin really pop. And oh, you guys, I just can't get over this highlighter. It's just so beautiful. For blush, I'm taking NARS blush in the shade Deep Throat, and it's a beautiful like shimmery pink, and I actually think this is probably my favorite in comparison to like NARS Orgasm. I think I actually like this one better because I feel like it's so much more flattering on kind of all kinds of skin tones. Once I'm done with that, I actually went in and kind of like changed parts of my makeup a little bit. I do this all the time when I'm doing my makeup off camera. So I wanted to show you guys how I actually went back in and kind of like thickened up my brows ever so slightly and made sure I was like super happy with them. Because I always find once you start putting all the other makeup on, you need to kind of like balance parts of your face out. And here I'm just intensifying a little bit of the contour. Then moving on to tight lining, I'm using the Perversion eyeliner by Urban Decay, and I am tight lining my upper waterline, and I'm going to be leaving my lower waterline blank. The next step is totally optional, but I'm taking my Lily lashes in the style Miami, which are my all-time favorite lashes now. Like, I just cannot get enough of these. I've probably worn these like 11 times now, and they are still going strong. Now taking the waterproof cream color in Sable by Anastasia Beverly Hills. You can use any brown eyeliner. I'm basically creating a fake wing. So all I'm doing is I'm literally creating a wing on my outer part of my eye and then just joining it up to my like lash line. It's basically a great way of faking, kind of making it look like you've done like a really hardcore like winged liner, but really you've just kind of faked the whole thing. So this is what I've been doing a lot recently. It's probably one of my favorite things to do for my eyes. Now, moving on to lips, I'm just taking my lip balm off, and then I'm putting the LA Colors Cappuccino lip pencil all over my lips. So I'm lining them and filling them in, and this lip liner is hardcore. It is like so long lasting. I really love it, and I could actually wear this by itself, but you guys know me, I'm going to layer loads of products on top. So I'm taking the Tarte lip paint in the shade TBT, and I'm putting this all over my lips. This is such a beautiful liquid lipstick. It's very similar to the Bourjois ones. It's quite moussey, but I feel this lasts longer than the Bourjois. Now I'm taking Unicorn lipstick. I was about to say lip liner. Lipstick from Urban Decay, and putting that on top to make my lips very nice and corally. I've been loving coral lips lately, and I've basically been mixing Unicorn in with pretty much any lip color that I've been wearing. And here I'm just going over the lip liner all over my lips, just to kind of like intensify their browniness in it. Now taking the Slay All Day setting spray from Gerard Cosmetics, I'm giving my face a good spray so that my makeup's going to last all day. And then I completely forgot to add a bit of powder, so I'm taking my Bourjois Healthy Balance powder in vanilla and just kind of powdering the areas where I don't really have any highlight or anything like that, so basically my nose and kind of around my jawline. And that, you guys, is the end of this makeup look. This is basically my go-to makeup look. I have this on 9 times out of 10 on my Instagram, and you guys had requested it so much that I had to film it for you all. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this makeup look. I can't wait to do some more like colorful looks because I'm really into color recently. But yeah, that's all for now, you guys, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.